Testing. Hello everyone and welcome into the Fallout Shelter. I think everything's working. It's been a crazy ride trying to get it all going again this morning. But hey everybody, what's going on? Delenzio, Marcy T, Rare Breeze, good to see you guys. Much love to you. Rocky USA, Super Dave, Dankologist, Lucas Salazar and Tam Tam, welcome in. Much love to all of you. Short and sweetly, the reason I haven't been back on YouTube in a little over a week or so is, well, because I got put in one of those YouTube timeouts. Obviously I have misreported some more medical information to y'all and have given y'all some medical misinformation somewhere along the lines. And well, I actually got a little thing from YouTube that said, look, basically, and basically, I'm going to give y'all the just the country boy version of it. This is what it said. It said, look, we at YouTube are going with what the World Health Organization says. We don't care what other doctors, scientists, or anything say. If you're not with the World Health Organization, you are doomed on YouTube. So, I'm probably, all over the screens in the descriptions, I have my DLive link. And guys, by no means am I trying to push anywhere as a free speech platform anymore. They don't exist. We don't have them. We have companies that are allowing us to use their technologies, and then they put their foot on our throat however they want to. Okay, you know what? Do what you got to do. I'm not really even, that's not even my hill I want to die on anymore. Let me tell y'all something that I think. And it's one reason that I get so aggravated with so many people in so many chat rooms. In this country, you do have the right to the freedom of speech. You have the right to say whatever's on your mind. It doesn't matter if it's hateful. It doesn't matter if it's mean. It doesn't matter if it hurts somebody's little feelings. You have the right to say it. But remember, that person has the right to say it back. But one thing you are not guaranteed in this country is a platform. Which means, don't roll into somebody else's room trying to take something they've built and spit your story on it. See, I don't even have that big a problem with YouTube putting us the way they do. And I'll tell you why. I'm starting to think that we may actually be playing into the hands of the elite and being as big a part of their little plan as need be. We're almost step one, if you want to get to that point. Curtis Lee, much love to you. Wake the flock up. Welcome in. Good day. Welcome in. Good to see you guys. Much love to you. I'm just rambling a little bit because of what's happening. It would be different if I was just coming on here and making stuff up and claiming that, you know, you were going to get a lollipop that was going to melt your brain and your skin was going to fall. Oh, but you know, that's kind of, you see what I'm saying? So let's just stop on that. Listen, DLive links are plastered everywhere. Not that I think it's free speech, but I can still say what I want to say, and I don't have to worry about that being taken down and all that crap because they don't have that many big corporation money behind them forcing it yet. How about that? And as far as us being the first in line, I'm ADD today, crazy guys. If you, yeah. When they come out with a story, and they'll plant it somewhere like on The Economist, a big story, and it would be a story that most of your, as normies, if you want to go with that route, would look at and just kind of chuckle at, and they probably wouldn't read it. Your businessmen are going to read it and go, this could have a big impact on investments. And then we look at it and we go, hey, there's a bigger picture here. Okay, when we go and I hate to say it because there's a ton of us out here that are like this now, we actually sound like a right-wing echo chamber or a left-wing echo chamber just for what's going on that day or that time, or whatever story they're wanting to put out. Well, then they get real-time feedback from our viewers. They'll get thumbs up or thumbs down, or they'll get the same thing over on Twitter or on Facebook or on any of these other places, and they'll gather all this information. So number one, they already know how we're all going to feel about it because they've been monitoring that data for years. If somebody new pops into the game, they can go, okay, do they have an effect, or do what has effects? And then they can judge all that. Data is so important. Marcy, that's the reason I'm putting my DLive links everywhere, because that's my main live streaming outlet. I don't have to censor my words. I don't have to change anything I want to do. I just have to click the mature tag over there, and I can go wild and go crazy. So that's kind of the whole thing there. I don't foresee me being able to do all of the streaming I'd like to do at YouTube, just because even with me trying to be a little entertainment, self-censoring, whatever you want to call it, I still seem to get the same things. I get medical misinformations, or you don't line up with this, or you don't line up. Well, I'm not going to, because I don't trust any of them places. And I've never listed my channel as educational. I've never listed it as science. It's been entertainment the whole time. My opinions on what I see. But we're not in that age. They sent me that note and said, hey, this is that age where we are going with what the World Health Organization says. And I'm not going to be so upset with YouTube. They sent me a notice and basically said, hey, this is what we're doing. If you don't like it, leave. And that's kind of where that's going. Now, I'm not like a lot of these guys. I don't have a big enough platform to just continue to make channels and make channels and make channels. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to come over here. We're going to talk about the technological stuff, like the 6G Magnetic Nanopowder, and y'all know ITER's getting some of its newest rings, the most powerful magnets that have ever been built on the earth. And I will do some things like that. But as far as things that go along with the new sicknesses that are going around, the millimeter wave therapies, is when we're talking about that involving like maybe catching a cold or immunosuppression, things of that nature are pretty much going to be quelled to DLive right now. And like I say, once again, guys, I'm not trying to push any platform. That's just where I started streaming. It's where I'm set up to stream. And quite frankly, with all the time that I spend in my real job, real work, and this is kind of a hobby that I picked up, and really I enjoy doing it when I can, but man, it's hard to fight with places like YouTube and like that. And still, if it was my life, it would be different. But having to get up and go work 10, 12 hours a day and then come deal with it is just totally different. So it makes it a whole lot easier for the DLive. I know some of you guys have issues with DLive. I promise you, once you get them figured out, it does get better, and I do understand. I do understand all of that going on. So anyway, we're going to get into some stories now here from physics.org. Well, hey, CMDR After Hours. I don't remember you subbing to this channel either, but thank God you made it. Glad to see you here, and much love to you. Rhonda, good to see you. CJ Blaze, thanks for that thumbs up smashing reminder. Kurt, good to see you, brother. You made it in, and I'm glad to be back out of the little YouTube jail. Joe Shields from Boston. Yeah, can't speak much of anything on YouTube. So I'm trying my best to make it all work out. And like I say, at one time I really didn't care if I lost the channel, but we pray together here. And that is important to me, and I feel like that's super important, and I don't want to lose the ability to have that prayer group together when we have those opportunities. So that's what we will continue to do. Now let's look up into some of the tech for the day. Let's see if I can get any of this to work right. If you look on the screen, I did put it's a real simple. It's a real simple DLive.tv/Fallout Shelter. Now let's check out the new Y'all give me a minute because I just got this stuff up and running a minute ago, and I want to make sure that we're... Check this out. Okay. I don't think I changed the screen yet. Y'all give me a minute. I'm working on it. I still don't have another monitor. I haven't replaced that yet, or the mic. So if the sound's not great, I apologize. We will be getting that back in order. Okay. And once I get another monitor, I'll be maybe back in a normal type of not freaking out mode. Okay, let's see if we can get through this without doing some live screaming today. This came out on June the 28th of 2021. Now, I'm not saying this has anything to do with it. I'm saying I started looking into some of these magnetic things strictly because of the little videos of people sticking magnets to their faces and their arms. And then I had a friend of mine who I know good and well has not had the test, has not had the shot, actually had magnets start sticking to him. How much do I trust him? 100%. So I really started digging into this magnetic thing a little more, and I'm not saying any of this ties together, but I did find this to be fairly interesting, dealing with the new 6G technologies to come. Now, we all know about the 5G technology. We all know about what's coming with it, millimeter waves, and that's a whole different topic for a different time. But we're fixing to move on past even the millimeter waves into something further. Material scientists have developed a fast method for producing epsilon iron oxide and demonstrated its promise for next generation communication devices. We can't even get the Internet of Things up fast enough. We don't have your refrigerator telling your toilet you're not eating right and sending the message to your doctor so your pills can be sent by Amazon on the way, dropped directly into your mouth so the sensor can go off and the computer at your doctor's office will know that you took your medicine fast enough that we've already got to have 6G coming out. Yes, it is outstanding magnetic properties make it one of the most coveted materials, such as for the upcoming 6G generation of communication devices and for durable magnetic recording. The work was published in the Journal of Materials Chemistry, see a journal of the Royal Society of Chemistry. I'm not going to go through all of this. Iron oxide is the most widespread oxide on Earth. It is, no, we're going to read all of that. We're not going to get into doing all of the little letters, but we'll get down to here. The resulting material is suitable for the production of converting units or absorber circuits at these frequencies. For example, by using composite iron magnetic nanopowders, it will be possible to make paints that absorb electromagnetic waves. Paints that absorb electromagnetic waves and thus shield rooms from extraneous signals. We had that. It was called lead, and protect signals from interception from the outside. Now, I have been looking into some materials already, and I found 3 different ones. I'm going to do a room with a coating that they already have that is supposed to help protect you from the millimeter waves and the different frequencies that can come through your walls. We're looking into it from our business of the painting business, and I've been looking into it from personal, and I've about decided on one that I think just from the contents will be the best, but we are going to try to do that here. I don't want to offer just the problems. I would like to try to offer some solutions. It will be possible to make, okay, we got that. The magnetic nanomaterial itself will be used in 6G reception devices. Okay, now we're talking about the Internet of Things, right? We're talking about how we are going to be part of that. We already have a lot of Fe3 inside of us. It's in our blood. It's in your body. You are comprised of a lot of iron, actually, and if it gets low, you will get extremely sick. I'm trying to remember, scientists in Russia decades ago found out that the human body actually becomes, transmits, and stores data. I can't remember the frequency signal. We'll have to get that back out and check it at some point in time. But with all of this being said and done, with this magnetic nanomaterials being able to put it into the paint, you will not need a device to hook to your refrigerator. The paint itself will be the connecting material in your toilet, your refrigerator, your everything else that's connected. That's exactly where this is headed to. Possibly even a well more thought out, more authoritarian regime than you could have ever thought of in 1984. I have not tried any of the borax stuff. I can't talk to it at all. I have used iodine and had really good luck with that. And I'll tell y'all something. I had quit taking it for a little while and was just kind of seeing that, and I'm fixing to start back. It's been about 2 weeks now. I haven't been taking it, but golly, the arthritis type pain today. That's the reason I'm here to stream with you guys. I worked really hard the last 2 weeks. A lot of time, a lot of crawling around on the floor for a 6'6" guy, and body aches and pains have been so unreal. But today, I said, you know what, we're here, we're gonna get on YouTube and at least talk about something and talk with the people and let them know where we're at every night, talking about the other stuff. So any of the medical stuff, dlive.tv/fallout shelter. Links are in the description. Materials with such high ferromagnetic resonance frequencies have enormous potential for practical applications. Today, terahertz technology is booming. It is the Internet of Things. It is ultra-fast communications. It is more narrowly focused scientific devices. And it is next-generation medical technology. While the 5G standard, which was very popular last year, operates at frequencies in the tens of gigahertz, our materials are open the door to significantly higher frequencies, hundreds of gigahertz, which means that we are already dealing with 6G standards and higher. Now it's up to engineers. We are happy to share the information with them and look forward to be able to lead or to hold a 6G phone in our hands. Guess what, guys? Check it out. I figured it out. They did this whole thing the wrong way. They could have zapped everybody and jabbed everybody, or way more than they did, all at one time. If they would have just got Bill Gates and Bezos and one of the people at Apple together, and if they would have just given everyone a free 5G telephone when they went and got their lollipop, you know, the roll up your sleever, if they would have just given them a 5G telephone, they would have had even half the people that didn't go get the shots now would be lined up getting the shots. They shouldn't have give away lap dances. They shouldn't have give away food. They shouldn't have give away pot. They should have give away 5G telephones. Oh, they could have got them all the way around then. We can zap you, and bap you all at one time. Anyway, 6G is on the way, and they're talking about how they're still rolling 5G out in places. I came up talking about 6G a little over a year ago over on DLive. We were talking about some things, and what was funny, when they were talking about the new forms of 6G about a year and a half ago, they don't give them that idea. Thanks, Victoria, that's funny. When they came up with this idea about a year and a half ago, it was funny because the tests they were doing for the 6G, they needed people to stay like 6 feet apart. Some of my DLive guys will remember that from a long time ago. And they also they were having to cut trees back in certain places, things of that nature, you know. But anyway, the resulting material is suitable for production. Well, I don't know forward. Anyway, 6G. Now, let me see if I can do this without if you go back a couple of streams ago, I have no idea how that stream did not get blasted for medical misinformation. I do not know. It's the ones that get it. The ones that don't, and I don't understand. But here a few weeks ago, I did another one, And we talked about how did we put it? Millimeter wave therapies and immunodepression, immunosuppression caused by millimeter wave therapies on healthy animals in studies. Okay. If you go back and see that stream, it's I talk about those things a lot on D Live as well. They come up a lot, so it just keeps it fresh on my mind. And sometimes I don't always have the links to pop back up. We go through lots of links. We try to keep most of them in our Discord, and maybe I'll show you guys all of that here in a few minutes. But anyway, immunodepression, immunosuppression is an act of where the nerves pick up that are sensitive. They pick up the frequencies and signals in the air. They then travel through your nervous system, doing the job of your nervous system. It's telling you that there's a problem and it's trying to create form. It makes pain, telling you that there's a problem, there's something you need to fix. There's not something we can fix because our environment is full of it. And then we end up with problems like fibromyalgia. We end up with peripheral neuropathies. We end up with cerebral neuropathies. We end up with overactive nerve disorders. We interact with all of these problems. And now they're saying, well, it looks like fibromyalgia is likely the result of autoimmune. It's really funny how many autoimmune diseases pop up when new technologies pop up. Go back to the 80s, there's some real bad autoimmune issues there, and there were some real big advancements in like the Strategic Defense Initiative and the way that signals were being beamed down at you instead of just all around, and that was really the craze of the beginning of the cellular industry that was moving into the public kind of eye. So you're dealing with all of that, and now you get further into age, and now we're all dealing with the fibromyalgias. And how many people did we have hit spontaneously combust? You want to see something sick? I'm sure, remember when you was a kid, there was a movie or something, they put a cat in a microwave, it exploded. I don't remember that movie, and I hope that was not a real cat, but that was kind of the point. If you put a live animal in a microwave, and then you put like a block of wood in the microwave, the animal will explode, but the block of wood will remain fine. That's just the way directed energy in the millimeter wave works. So we're dealing with all of these type of issues. Fibromyalgia, they're calling the result of an autoimmune, and we've shown over and over, especially at D-Live, how the frequencies can actually induce autoimmune depression and suppression. And I've been telling, if you could find some doctors that would really start to study chronic pains, nerve disorders, and start to study them from a frequency type situation, I believe they could find some answers. So, whew, I think I had another one. That might be the last one on the nerve type stuff. See, the results show that fibromyalgia is a disease of the immune system rather than the current held view that it originates in the brain. That might have been gremlins. It may have been a gremlin in a microwave, little fish. Because I remember loving the gremlins, that might have triggered me and think it was a cat. I think you might be right. Susie, good to see you. Got x-rays in my hand. Healing life. That's awesome. Awesome. And I have some good news to share when this is over too. I don't know if you guys remember, but a lot of people will. The results show that, either way, if it originates in the brain or it's a disease of fibromyalgia, you could have the same cause that's the stem if it's coming from the sea of frequencies, the radio frequency, electromagnetic frequency, and we're starting to get up into the gamma ranges. It would be the same thing if the immune system causes it. I don't know if y'all can hear the chicken, but he's driving me nuts. The rooster has not stopped crowing in the last 30 minutes, and I want to go out there and wring his neck, but I know I can't. The study published today in the Journal of Clinical Investigation demonstrates that the increased pain sensitivity, muscle weakness, reduced movement, and reduced number of small nerve fibers in the skin that are typical of FMS are all a consequence of patient antibodies. Well, I'm sure, be paying attention, there'll be an mRNA genetic therapy before long. The mice injected with fibromyalgia antibodies recovered after a few weeks when antibodies had been cleared from their system. This finding strongly suggests that therapies which reduce antibody levels in patients are likely to be effective treatments. Some therapies are already available and are used to treat other disorders that are caused by autoantibodies. Hey, humble disciples, good to see you, brother. Much love to you too. Cool stuff y'all been working on. I've actually been trying to check it out when I have a little bit of time. Hey, believe, no, I don't do the restream thing. I only stream to one channel at a time. That way I can interact with that one chat. And the main story I wanted to talk about today was the magnetic stuff there. Oh, check this out. Food. Cancer cure through gene. That's right. Hey, check this up. Wake the flock up. I said this on D-Live the other night. I like the fact that one thing that we can see if they when they're showing it to us is they show us what the plan is. The prophet is not really going to be here in the prophet's not going to be in the vaccine. The prophet is going to come into getting the vaccine cleared through the FDA. See, what they need is they need the very first genetic therapy to be approved for use in humans. Not emergency use approved. And the people who are at the FDA, they're not willing to put their name on it for approval, but they're willing to put their name on it for emergency use. So all these idiots that want to go out there and line up can be our test dummies. I'm trying to be so careful. I don't want to get another strike. Is really what I'm trying to say. All of this is to get approval for those cancer therapies, like was talked about right up here, creating a cancer cure through gene therapy. Once they have the approval of one mRNA genetic therapy, the safety issue goes out the window. And then we will be able to that's something we don't got to fight with anymore. There would be tons of numbers of people. Anyway, now you get it to the point to where it's so much easier. Now we approve these cancer treatments. And well, let me just tell you, they're not going to give you coffee and donuts and beer and weed and lifetime membership to strip clubs. They're not going to give you chances at $1 million. They're not going to beg you on the nightly news and on every commercial you hear to go get your shot. Please call and line up. No, they're going to want to know, do you have insurance? And if you don't have insurance, do you own property? Do you own a home? Do you own land? And exactly how do you plan on paying for this? And if not, then well, we're sorry, because that's what this is all about. Now, up until the point of the end of the emergency method, we all know that, well, if this gets blasted, it just gets blasted. But this is the way it is. This is some hard truth knowledge. The people who run the media are the same people who run the pharmaceutical companies. Some of the same people that are on board members for Merck and Pfizer are also on boards for A, B, and C, or for ABC, for NBC. These guys, that is absolutely a conflict of interest. Now, you're dealing with these medications and you're dealing with these companies. There is a date. There's a magical number, y'all. Just keep this in mind. There's a magical number of September 15th. Why that number was picked, I don't know. But there's a lot going on around September 15th that ends a lot of emergency regulations that were signed into place. And I don't think they can get their numbers high enough with their Delta and Lambda to get it back up. But they're trying. So if they can, they'll be able to continue this on. But if they don't, on September 15th, if that emergency signing runs out, well, now you have to start paying for your own gene therapy, as it were, and the government doesn't offer it for free. Now, the government offering anything for free means that we take your tax money, do the research and development on it. After we do the research and development on it, we then take it and we take your tax money to pay for every shot that's given. So you pay for the research and development, and you pay for the shot that's given back to you at the end, and you pay for other countries to get the same thing, well, because quite frankly, they just can't afford it. And that's just the way life is. It's all about the money. The pharmaceutical and biotech companies will be blowing up. And yes, today is, I think, Happy Cyber Polygon Day. Cyber Polygon Day. I don't have the stories pulled up, but things have been getting hit left and right with ransomware attacks, and I'm sure the CIA, one of these foreign hackers that's definitely not a three-letter government agency will definitely be getting some kickback through Bitcoin or however they're doing it. Yeah, anyway. And just so you know, this is where I think I was headed. This was from June 27th. We had a salmonella outbreak linked to a frozen cooked shrimp. Every day, there is more news about food somewhere that you can't eat. We can't sell it to you. We can't get it to you. I know people who have actually destroyed cattle this year, mainly because they were so far behind on any of the local slaughterers and processors. They couldn't take it there. It's just so far behind, and it's looking like out in the west, if they don't start to get some rain and able to feed their cattle, it's all gone anyway. Lots of as much rain as they're getting in some places is getting none, and the cattle just don't have anything to eat. We also had a story here about a week ago about chicken. Now, once again, people go, oh, it's just so much going on. Well, this is another, let me tell you, another reason that I bring this to you. Have some food. Have some water. Have the things you need to be able to take care of you and your family. That's not that hard to do. It's not that expensive to do. We were told to be like the wise virgins, have oil in our lamps until the bridegroom cometh, because those who endure to the end will be saved. Well, we're being warned. We're being warned by the elite, by the rulers of this authority, by the ones who call the shots. that, hey, food's going away, food's going away. What else do we have? Well, we have this new food that from the meadow to the plate. It's a cultured meat that replaces animals with just plain grass. An affordable lab system that uses grass blades to turn cells into cultured meat has been developed at the University of Bath. So not only now are we using all different types of materials to make meat, now we're making it just out of plain old grass. So instead of taking the cow, letting it eat the grass, process the grass and grow it into meat, we're just bypassing the cow totally. Bypassing the cow totally. So yeah, so food, guys, with everything going on, just think about this. Fires out west, man-made storms down in the southeast. Never know what's coming through Mississippi. Tornadoes, hurricanes. Heck, we got the fault line at Madrid that runs up through Tennessee. Then you got Tornado Alley. Okay, take away everything else that we talk about on a daily basis. And let's pretend that there are no elite bankers and government organizations out there that are wanting to put a boot of tyranny on your throat. Just pretend it's normal life and everybody's happy as usual. Well, you could be at home one day and you could have a tornado run through that causes where you're going to be stuck at your home for 2 weeks. You know, in a society where you go get what you need every 2 to 3 days, that's going to be a big deal. But if you've got some, you know, canned food and dry type food and some water and things like that, you're good for 2 weeks. And during those 2 weeks, you'll be able to help other people. And when you're helping other people, a lot of times that's when you're really able to do help for the kingdom. So you never know exactly what, when, how, or things are going to work out for you. But being prepared, even if the worst never hits the fan, it hits it for somebody every day. You know, it hits for people who lose their children, people who lose their parents on a daily basis. Their SHTF moment was right then. The landslide in Japan. Remember the landslide? And it took out all those people. The building collapse. Now, I personally think the Navy ought to be held liable on a lot of that, even though the buildings down there aren't in that great a shape. There's a lot of them that are in bad shape. I've actually worked on spalling on some buildings before, and there's quite a few that need an awful lot more work than what they get. They really need some type of poly injectables into them, but they don't. They just get the surface patched. And but when you go setting off bombs out there that set off 3.9 earthquakes, you know, not far from where buildings are falling, there's some problems. Okay, I'm not going to talk about this too much because I would know this would absolutely get here, but Germany recommends mixing the therapies for better protection. I'm leaving that right there. Look, the links for this stuff are in the description. I'm going to put this one in the chat. I'm going to mess the screen up for a second, but it's normally I have another way that I'm going to throw this here in the chat. And I'll pull the page right back up. Well, there it is. Yeah. Just mix two together and you'll be better. No, you don't need one of this and one of the other. Just get the AZ and mix a BTP with it or a M with it and you're all good. Yeah, just mix it. You know, I used to do that years ago with pharmaceuticals and recreationals, and I'm going to be quite honest with you, I don't recommend it. If you live in Germany, you can take their recommendations. Okay, the links in the description also have the unclassified preliminary assessment of the unidentified aerial phenomenon. I have not read it yet. I keep saying I'm going to. It's only 9 pages long. But I don't get a whole lot of time sitting here. And when I do get a lot of time sitting here, I run into stuff like this. Remember what I was telling y'all a while ago about how your tax money funds the creation, the distribution, the advertising, and then the final product going into you is all charged to you. You pay for every dime of it all the way. And then from Trial Site News, you get the feds are continuing to fund the M word for $144 million for the 2/3 Kid Cove study in the 11 year to 6 month, despite the record revenues and profits and $8 billion cash reserves that these companies now have. You want to know why it's all being pushed? It has absolutely nothing to do with anything except for money, cash, digital dollars, whatever you want to call them. And this is going back with 144, of course it is, for the vaccination of young children. Oh, check this out. I knew I had something else interesting. The agency that studied the fall of the Twin Towers is in line to probe the collapse of the condo near Miami Beach. I'm sure this will work out great. A team of scientists and engineers from an obscure federal agency that investigated the fall of the Twin Towers after 9/11 arrived Friday at the site of the partially collapsed residential tower in Surfside. I also noticed that a group of IDF soldiers arrived there. Their goal, to decide whether to launch a full investigation into the catastrophe and then to begin the painstaking process of determining what went wrong, which leads me to believe they're there wondering, why did not the whole building fall down? The National Institute of Standards and Technology, a little-known sub-agency of the Department of Commerce. Okay, guys, for those of you two that don't know, if you trace everything done in our government back, and you follow back through their stories and their agencies and their this and their that and their 3-letter acronyms, when you finally get to the top 2, you're going to be at the Department of Energy and you're going to be at the Department of Commerce. Those 2 run the show. A little known sub-agency of the Department of Commerce. We got all of these little sub-agencies. That's how they keep air. That's how the government creates jobs. They don't create jobs by manufacturing. They create jobs by writing regulation. Investigates disasters that result in, or had the potential to result in, substantial loss of life, according to spokeswoman Jennifer Huergo. It does so with an eye toward recommending changes to building code standards and practices that will ensure that similar disasters never happen again. So yeah, we've had the IDF show up. You know, the Israeli, I guess they just happened to be there doing something was the story, and they decided they'd stop by and help. That was the story. And now we have the same group that investigated 9/11. I'm sure that there's nothing absolutely at all nefarious going on there that we need to be paying attention to. Yeah, it's still crickets. Absolutely. All right, let's see. Was there anything else? I'm trying to clear out some of these links. I know there's some stuff that I want to talk about tonight, as long as I can get my look, check this out. I don't have the links for this, guys. I'll just show y'all this little quick thing. Look, November 19th, 2019. This was from Military Aerospace Electronics. The new era of high-power electromagnetic weapons. EMP weapons, streams of microwaves, electromagnetic railguns, and high-powered lasers offer new ways to bring down swarming drones, sink ships without explosives, and disperse formations of soldiers. This was almost 2 years ago. And moving forward to July 1st, 2021, Navy ditches futuristic railgun, eyes hypersonic missiles. Now, I personally think that there's a project going on with DARPA, and it is called a Glide Breaker. I think Elon's Starlink, as much as it has a commercial use of being able to high-speed internet everywhere, I believe it also is carrying the sensors that are going to be part of Project Glide Breaker, which will give the United States the ability to actually be able to have sensors that can sense hypersonic weapons. And I think the stuff that's going up there actually will have the ability to maybe shut them down. But I don't think for a minute that we're ditching the futuristic anything. I think too many eyes and too much light has been brought forward on the directed energy weapons. I think, like I was telling y'all earlier, how we are the first line of defense for them. That they love to see what we put out and what we catch, and that way they can find out what the reaction to it will be. I think enough people that were actually educated on the matter and didn't live in the crazy world that some of us live in. I know I do. I live in crazy world all the time. But to that point, somebody who can actually maintain their focus when talking to you, and some of those guys got into the directed energy, and I think the focus is having to be taken away from it. So yeah, all right, guys, I really wish, there's stories that I'd really love to just come on here and scream about and really give you my opinion. And I don't know if y'all can tell how hard it is for me to edit myself. I'm really having to pay a lot of attention. And with pain in my body, it's so nice to be able to come on here sometimes and just scream and get rid of that pain. It's very therapeutic. But I'm trying not to get lost or lose anything here over at YouTube. I'd like to just be able to meet with you guys in case there's anything crazy that does happen. I'll be able to come over here. So I do have a channel called the Fallout Shelter News. I don't know if I have the link available for it, but I will get it in some places where I'm fixing to start sharing that stuff, because it appears that I'm gonna, sometimes I'm gonna say things that's just gonna get us hit. And but at DLive, they're not taking us down, guys. DLive.tv. DLive.tv/Fallout Shelter with a capital F and a capital S. And that will get you to DLive. And at nighttime, usually between 7 and 9 p.m., if I get home from work on time, is when I go. I don't have a schedule because I just stream when I can after work. But for the most important thing we do, no matter what the news is, no matter what they say is happening, no matter what's going on throughout the world, we can come together and we can pray to our Father in heaven. We can lift each other up. If people are feeling down, we can hopefully help lift their spirits. We are not trying to live in that area of fear. I do not want people living in that fear at all. We're going to have to live in whatever world's here, and we're here for a reason, and we need to make the most out of every day as we can. I'm trying my best to find solutions daily. That there are clothes that we can get. Get lambs. You know what? I have a link for it, but if it's kind of expensive. There are some cheaper ones out there. So I don't push that. If somebody's interested, I think you should definitely look into the EMF clothing, especially maybe protecting your head and your chest. I don't do it enough. I'm just kind of giving you ideas as things that I do have the shirts for my children, uh, and one of my kids does have a beanie. So those type of things are what I think we can do better for each other than any. If you go to our Discord, there is a full section there of home remedies, home things that people do in their gardens that they share, and a lot of things that we just can't talk about in the channels because it's, whatever, but we can there. So the great community in Discord. I don't get to get in there a lot, but Rare Breeds does a great job of taking care of that for me. Thank you so much, guys, especially Miss Rare Breeds. I really appreciate it. And great people in there chatting back and forth. I use it as a way to keep the old information that we go through and to post when we're going live, when YouTube or DLive or things like that don't. But pray together. That's one thing we're really supposed to do as believers. We're supposed to pray together. We're supposed to eat together. But that's hard to do online, so I just consider it communing. And we have a good time. So, guys, if you have anything that you would like to add to the prayer request, time now is... Yeah, absolutely, Legend. I don't remember why exactly I done that, but I do remember there was something happened in one of the streams a while back, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to make him blue. Don't remember why, but I remember doing it. And then when I get done with y'all, I'm turning the air conditioner back on in here, because it is getting hot. Uh-oh. Let me go ahead and put that back like that. And then I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, there we go. Oh, thank you, Rare Breeds. All right. Here's my praise story. I've said it to Discord. To DLive, and I want to tell you guys too. Thank you, Kurt. Mike's son at Above Ground. Man, I watched a replay. I haven't caught Mike live. I caught the replay in my truck, and his son is going through... Oh man, Sister Goldenhair, prayer for the family. Absolutely. For my grampy, that absolutely little fish. Will do. Put on the whole armor. And there's many good people. There's a great... Alright, quickly. I don't remember her name, but I was praying for somebody that we called Ralph's niece, who was dealing with cancer and had been going through some cancer treatments and had gotten so sick at one point that they were counting the days, and they had her in tubs of ice water trying to bring temperatures down. It was very, very bad. I was actually to the point where I was praying for the Father to be merciful and give, strength to her family in case of a worse outcome. I don't think I was wrong for that. But at the same time, God's plan was different. And this little girl is, last time they checked her, I actually thought she had passed away because nobody was asking for anything anymore. And she is up, she is fine, and she is cancer free. Praise Jesus. Okay. Father, we thank you for allowing us to come together today. I thank you for allowing everything that we're allowed to do, and I thank you for every individual that comes into this meeting place. And I ask you to continue to keep your hand on them, to cover them with the full armor that you provide daily. I pray that you reach down to everyone listening. You send the Holy Spirit to be with us, to give us the strength, the energy, to stand up and rise against the devil in this day and age, and to just do whatever it takes to be able to fight on the side for the kingdom of heaven, for you, and to do positive things. I thank you for your Son, Jesus, that you sent to come into this world, to preach the gospel, to take the beating so that we could be healed, to die on that cross, fight Satan, take the keys to death, hell, and the resurrection under your power on the third day so that we could be saved. Father, I'm asking you to see all of these requests that people have. Father, number one, I ask you to be with Mike's son. I ask you to be with Mike's grandchild, dealing with his cancerous tooth, Father, cancerous growth. I ask you to send the Holy Spirit to touch this growth. We're praying for healing. We're praying for complete healing for this child. Father, I'm praying that you take it, send it as far as the east is from the west. Let your power be seen for it. Great things come to the kingdom for it. And just let them know that you're there taking care of it. We thank you for these things in the name of Jesus. Father, I ask you to be with his son's other family members that were in a car accident on the way to somewhere else. Father, I ask you to be with them, keep them safe, and just let them know that, be able to get in touch with each other and find out everything and be able to communicate to keep peaceful between them. And I thank you for it in Jesus' name. Father, I ask you to be with Little Fish's Grampy. I pray that you'll be that ultimate physician that will fix things and make sure that the oxygen can reach that blood. And we thank you for those things based on the promises of being able to ask for healing in Jesus' name. Father, I ask you to be with Sister Golden Hair's family who took the jab. Father, I just ask you to continue to protect their body the way that you built it. I know that you can make anything happen at any time, and I just pray that you continue to take care of them. And I thank you for it in the name of Jesus. Father, I ask you to be with Scan family. I ask you to take care of that eye. Father, I ask you to reach down and touch that eye. The eyes are something that seemed to have importance to you when you were here. Father, I ask you to take and touch those eyes, wipe away whatever that is. You told us that we could ask for anything we wanted. And Father, right now we're asking you for healing for all of these things that are listed in here, and we're asking you for it and thanking you for it in advance in the name of Jesus. Father, I ask you to be with all of the people, especially those that are close to us in here, that are in a divided family, where they don't get along, where we see one thing and they see another. Father, I ask for you to please bring us to a place where we can come together as families, help each other together in our weaknesses and our strengths. Help us to see exactly what's more important, and don't let the enemy turn us against each other. Father, Bad Pappy's looking for a job. I pray that you show that door, and when that door is open, that you put that tug there to push through that door and let them know that you're there, and just let us know that you're there taking care of us. Thank you that you came, ripped that veil in the temple so that I could come straight to you and ask for these things and give my imperfections as a man. Father, I ask you to cover us all, give us all the strength that we need till we can meet back here again. And it's in Jesus' precious name that I pray. Alright, guys. That, always good to jump back in here and get back into YouTube. And hopefully it'll be one of those deals where it's not going to be the streams that I want them to be every time here, because I'm being a little reserved. But I don't want to lose the little bit of ground that we have gained here. But at the same time, I don't want to be that echo chamber that everybody else is, the truth news and I don't want to be that. If I wanted to be that, I'd go find somebody and copy what they're doing. That's not what I want. I want us to have a positive outlook on life, and not to have that, oh my gosh, I wish it would just end. That's not the way we're supposed to live. Jesus don't tell us to end like that. Jesus says we're supposed to have life and have it more abundantly. We're supposed to walk through these minefields with our head up and our shoulders back and proud, because, you know, when we get hit in the face by Satan, we're supposed to be able to swing back and not curl up and roll over. That's the only way I can put it. And that's what I try to do, Marcy. Hey guys, at D Live, we don't finish a D Live stream without prayer either. That's just something I decided to do at my streams, and if nothing else, that's the most important thing we can do together. But now I'm going to, I'm not going to lie to y'all, I'm off work today. I'm not going to go this late in the day. I have popped this stream off. I did get my replacement steering wheel for my iRacing set up. So I think I'm fixing to unhook some stuff in here, do some wiring, and see if I can't set up a race car and get that part going while I'm in here. But I know what'll happen. I'll turn this off, open the door, walk the dogs, and then it'll be another 2 hours before I'm back in here. But it is what it is, right? Guys, I love you. If I was at D Live, I'd be playing some music and giving some lemon back. But since I'm not, it looks like we're going to just play an outro and call it a day. And hopefully when we'll get some... I am doing a little bit of research. And that research is... we got some stuff that's going to be coming up. Oh, Rhonda's going... See, Rhonda, why can't you pick something else besides love song? I don't... My wife even got... Michelle, I don't know if she's listening or not. Golly. See, you put me on the spot like that, I can't even remember the words. The love is gonna find a way. That's about the best as it's gonna get without some music. She said the last time I tore it up on purpose. And so there we go. Love is gonna find a way. Love God, love your neighbor, and love yourself. And I love you guys. And if you come to D Live, you might get to hear me sing along with it. How about that? Not just it with no music or nothing to cover up. Even when I turn my guitar on, I have a theory that says if you can't play good, play loud. Well, that don't work when you're singing with no music, because if you're singing and your singing sucks, it just sucks worse when you're loud. Love God, love your neighbor, love yourself, and I hope to see all you guys tonight. Have a great day, and I'll catch you on the next one.